If I went to like 1,000 moms right now, pulled out a bottle, and I said, I want you to give this to your son or your daughter, and she said, what is it? And I said, it's aborted fetal cells, it's formaldehyde, there's a little bit of mercury in there, there's a little bit of aluminum in there, mRNA viruses in there, but it's all good. I did. It's going to be good for your baby. How many moms would look at me and say, get out of my house? But yet they run to the doctor to get injected with the same stuff.
Hello, and thank you for joining the Layla Show. We are here with a good friend, Dr. Ed Group, who also owns an amazing supplement company, all organic, super clean, great for your body, high vibrational products, global healing. Really, really fantastic products. So, Dr. Group, welcome to our show. You want to give yourself a little brief introduction, who you are, what you've been doing, what you've been up to, and when you started this journey, and then I'll jump in and start asking you some questions.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that great introduction. My name's Dr. Edward Group, or you can just call me Ed, because really the definition of a doctor is a teacher and not a prescriber. And ultimately, I just started this mission kind of by chance. I wanted to be a heart surgeon, and I was at a dinner one night, and I was talking to this guy next to me. It's just how God puts things together and how the universe comes together. And we're talking, and he's basically counteracting everything I'm saying. And he's talking about how, by the way, this was in the mid 90s, and there was no internet back then, and there was no cell phones back then. So this is just like conversation that you end up having with somebody. There was really not that many places we could get information except for newspapers, magazines, and the library, the old school library. And I was excited, and he was like, well, and he starts going down this conspiracy thing about how all pharmaceuticals are synthetic, and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, and how allopathic medicine took over from natural medicine. And he's just given me the download. He's red pilling me on all of this information. He's asking me, he's like, you really want to, prescribe medications? Those are synthetic, right? Those are poisons to the body. They just cover up the symptoms. And I remember him telling me, he's like, if the oil ran out in your car and the oil light came on, would you go get oil and put it in the car, or would you just put a Band-Aid over the light? And so, he had me intrigued. And this is after 12 years of school and me just about to apply for my MCAT, which was actually perfect timing. And I said, yeah, I just couldn't sleep for a couple of days. And I ended up driving to the medical library, which is about 35 minutes away from where I was living at the time, and just pulled up and started pulling up information about, what are pharmaceuticals, and looking at different pharmaceuticals and breaking them down, and like looking at what's the chemistry behind them, how does that work in the physiology of the body? How does it work biochemically in the body? And I was shocked. It only took me about 4 hours to just, the light bulbs came on, and it was, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. This is a mass poisoning of the world, because you're not addressing the root cause of what's happening. All you're doing is you're just covering up a symptom, or you're blocking something in the body, but it's not actually getting anything better. So, in 4 hours after 12 years, basically I was completely flipped. And then it hit me, and I was like, I went into almost like a panic attack, because I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? And I got in my car and I started driving home, and about 10 minutes in, I just had this lightness come over me, and then all of a sudden my car just filled with light, and I just left my body, and I was just like in this cloud of light, and this very peaceful, kind of like the description of what you hear people saying of like a near death experience or something like that. But for me, it was like a very powerful spiritual experience. It was which I've had before, starting at 9 years old, I've had these really in-depth, really deep spiritual experiences. And I could just hear God's voice saying, you can heal with your hands. Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Heal with my medicine, heal with the earth. And I can remember like tears were coming down my cheeks, and then all of a sudden it was just there was this connection. I can't even explain it, but there was just this connection with humanity that happened at that point, and connection with all living things. It was like I was shown that we're all one, basically, like everything is has a purpose, and all of the healing modalities are already around us and they're already within us.